In business and in life, if you want to grow, you have to be willing to take risks, try things, and accept that you might fail at them. Today, I'm going to tell the story of how I got into SEO from starting with a pressure washing business. Hi there, my name is Bruce. I've been doing SEO, digital marketing, and affiliate marketing since 2015. I make these videos to try and help people that are interested in marketing, or if you are already in marketing, maybe I can show you a new trick or two. Okay, so the way I got into SEO, I just found it. Here, I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, so this is way before SEO. I didn't even know what SEO was, but I had been studying copywriting for a couple years. And by studying it, I was like, I had taken a course or two. I read a bunch of books. I wrote like famous sales letters out by hand because that's a way to learn copywriting because I could see the value of copywriting. And at the time, I was working in the wine business, but I wasn't doing any marketing. And I was like, I want to be in marketing and I want to write copy, even though it's not easy to do. For some people, it's a little bit easier, but it can be if everybody could do it, everybody would because you can make a lot of money. So it's not the easiest thing to do, but it's a super valuable skill. And at the time, I was reading this guy. This is the guy Neville. I forget his last name, Medora or something like that. Anyway, somehow I stumbled across this guy on the internet, and he is a copywriter, and he had a blog. And I was reading his blog one day, and he had this blog, and he has this guest dude come on, and this is the blog: power washing flyers that took a business from zero to $13,000 per month. So I'm reading it, and it's like this guy is his like first business, I think, and and this was his first like mailer that he sent out for pressure washing, and he's like it was terrible, and he's like trying to learn, right? And then that's the flyer that he ended up mailing that ended up working for him. And the thing is, I read this, and my buddy at the time had like an industrial grade pressure washing machine, kind of like that one. It looked similar, and I had never pressure washed anything, but I was like, dude, I, and I wanted to write copy, and no, I couldn't find anybody to hire me to write copy, and I was like, dude, I've been trying to get into copywriting for a couple of years, and I couldn't figure out how, and I was like, because I was trying to get a job, and I was like, no one's anyway, I knew I had to just do something for myself. And I was like, dude, I could write flyers and then go pressure wash people's houses. And so that's what I did. And my first flyer, it took me forever. And I did it on Microsoft Word. It was a Word document. And it looked very similar to this. Like I didn't use exactly the same words and exactly the same offer. I did it a little differently, but it looked a lot like this. Um, and anyway, and then I started mailing them out because my buddy said I could use his pressure washer. And then I got a job. I got my first job, and my buddy went with me because it was his pressure washer, so he had pressure washed his own house a couple times. So I went to this lady's house, and actually, when I left, it was a little bit lighter than when I originally got there because I used too strong of a chemical, and I didn't have a clue what I was doing. But she thought I did a good job. She was super nice. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize like, you're running a business, there's risk. Like she could have been mad and sued me. But it wasn't like it is like a subtle lightning because you're using like this bleach is this crazy chemical. Anyway, so it's funny because I'm just now finding this flyer. This is the first time I've looked at this blog post since like 2015 or 2014 or something like that. Um, Anyway, so I didn't even have a website at the time. And I was doing every door direct mail, which I'm sure it talks about every door direct mail here in this. And then I was like testing offers, testing neighborhoods, didn't have a website. And like it was like my second year of doing this, that like I mailed out this huge flyer that I was gonna be I'd finally gotten kind of good at making a little bit of money and targeting neighborhoods and stuff. And I did this big mailer, and like you have to pay for all these things. Like it gets expensive to print them out and then mail them. And I mailed it out, and I was living in North Carolina at the time. And the day that it went out, It was the biggest mailer I had ever done, and it cost. So these things cost a lot of money, right? Um, and it was the biggest one I had ever done by like double in size, right? Because I was like, dude, I'm going to make some money. So the day it went out was the first day of like a 14-day rain event. It just rained for 14 days. Sometimes it'll do that in North Carolina in the summertime. And no, the thing is, nobody thinks about pressure washing when it's raining. And so basically, anyone who saved my mailer, they ended up throwing it away because like it's it's people don't just hold on to that stuff for the most part. Every now and then people would. Anyway, so I sent out this big huge mailer, and it took all this time and energy, and I didn't make any of the money back. Didn't get any calls from the mailer, and I was devastated. I was like, and I worked my butt off for this thing. I was like, man, I could have, I'd have more money if I did nothing and I sat on the couch, and I would have. And then like I was so bummed about that I was like, man, I got to figure something else out. And somehow during that time, I stumbled across some YouTube video by this guy Alex Becker, and at the time he had a course where he was teaching SEO, search engine optimization. And at the time, I could write an email, but I don't even know if I could make a tweet back then, or maybe I had just learned how to make a tweet. I mean, I had no technical skills. I don't know why I thought that I might be able to learn search engine optimization because I was never a tech guy. Anyway, so I buy his course and I go down the rabbit hole of learning search engine optimization because like I wanted a way to figure out a way to promote my pressure washing business without like I think this the mailer cost like 800 or 1200 bucks or something like that, and it took me a couple days to like print everything off and then bundle it and then get it to the mail. Anyway, so I was like, maybe I could get people to my website and buy pressure washing services. I don't know. I actually never ended up building a website for the pressure washing business. I never even wanted a pressure washing business. I actually did get good at talking to customers and estimating like how much it would cost me to pressure wash their house and how to make money doing it. But like I really didn't like the business because it's hard manual labor. Um, and so I never did a website with pressure washing, but the experience of learning marketing in this led me to try and like find something better with, and so I was like, yeah, like businesses, this is 2015, I think. I was like, businesses have websites. I need a website like, and SEO. I was like, sure. Yeah, let me learn this. Oh, you can make money doing it. It took, anyway, it took a while for me to figure out how to make money with it. But this is the start. I have not seen this since like 2014 or 2015. Been a while since I looked at this. That's how it started for me. Is learning direct response, writing sales letters, and then I just did pressure washing just so I could write sales letters because writing sales letters if you don't have anything to sell is just not useful. And so I sold pressure washing, and then I had a huge setback at that. And then I was like, man, I got to learn a better way to market this. And then I stumbled upon SEO from a random YouTube video, and then I went down the rabbit hole of learning that. And then, like 10 years goes by. But anyway, the point is, you got to try stuff. You got to allow yourself to fail and see what happens. And anyway, that's my story. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments and I will answer you. And if you like this, I'd appreciate a like, thumbs up, whatever it is. Or if you know someone in marketing or that wants to go into marketing, show them this video. This is not, my way was just I don't know, I just did whatever I could to make it happen. But anyway, I hope you found this entertaining at the very least, and I will see you in the next video.